Bienvenidos to Straightforward
or Not,
the only podcast out there that gives you straightforward answers. Oh no, we're still figuring it out. Yeah.
work in progress every day.
Tell them what are we going to be talking about today.
Well, before we get into that,
Oh yeah,
the most important part of our show.
yes, which is
Follow, like, subscribe on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, and Apple. These episodes, we are only as good and we can only grow so much as you let us. Share this with everyone else.
Yes.
Make this your number one podcast in your household. Reels, everything.
yes, and it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe.
It's free.
Zero. It's free.
Free. You have
Free.
no excuses.
None. Zero.
So today, we're talking about the most controversial episode known to date. Relationships.
Relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you think of relationship, first of all, let's tell the audience, are we talking about relationships in general? Are we talking about romantic relationship? What are we talking about?
Great question. Romantic relationships.
Romantic relationship.
All about romance.
Okay.
This is anything from potentially situationships, open relationships, monogamous relationships, initially dating, or being with someone for 40 to 50 years.
Okay, I think my first question, so people can understand who to take like advice from or not. What is your longest relationship?
My longest relationship is a little under 4.5 years.
Okay.
I know. Crazy.
Okay. How old were you?
I
Don't bring it
was
back to me yet. Let's stay over there.
23 and a half to about 28.
Okay.
What
and
about you?
And if you, I'm still talking.
I'm sorry. So rude.
So rude. So okay, 4 years. Let's do like a pick and peats of it. Like, what was like the best thing about that relationship in general, just like a shelf of it, and what do you think made that go sour?
Oh, the best part of a relationship is someone that you can blindly trust and be with and has the support and nurturing kind of your other half, something that you don't have and that you don't possess and they can fulfill. And it creates this connection and bond that elevates life to a different level that you can't do as a single person. And I'm not saying being single is bad by any means, but I think being in a relationship, the right relationship, let's state that now, not toxic, not someone who's manipulative, not someone who's abusive, but the right relationship really can elevate your life in a different way than I don't think anything else can. And especially in this way.
Explain that to me. So what do you think it was that you were able to accomplish more any relationship that you were not able to accomplish by yourself?
You have someone that's always behind you and supporting you regardless of what you do. And especially being as an entrepreneur that was starting two businesses during that time period, I always had someone cheering me on. It was never a solo journey, not necessarily maybe through why I had my dad as a business partner. So the two of us were together, which helped. But I also had someone supporting me that may have not known the business, but still was elevating me up and able to hold me up through difficult times, through challenging times, and was able to push me forward when I didn't necessarily have the confidence for myself or the courage or whatever you want to consider it.
So it was a companionship.
It's a companionship.
Okay. So do you believe in the example of you get with somebody and they're supposed to, unquote, complete you? Or do you think you're supposed to be a full-rounded human being already?
I think you're supposed to have two people together and they're supposed to elevate you to another level. I don't think they're ever supposed to necessarily complete you. Because when you say completing, in my opinion, what it means is you're relying way too heavily on someone else to complete you as an individual.
Correct. To me, I always felt like I wanted to be a full-rounded human being and meet somebody who's also full-rounded and be able to make a new path with each other or build a path with each other, not just like, oh, you help me and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't think. But everybody does it differently.
Everyone does it differently. But I think the more successful is if you come in whole or slightly damaged and you heal and then you create that new path forward.
You said 2 holes?
2 holes.
Sorry.
That's your world, not mine.
You say you're
There's 3 in mine.
Okay, moving along. Okay, so relationships. I think I have struggled with that. I feel like this is the first time in my life that I really fully understand what it is to be in a relationship. I feel like a lot of the times I was looking for somebody to complete me, somebody to come into my life. And you never had like plans that you want to do, but then you think of like, oh, I can't wait to do X, Y, and Z when I meet the right person. I can't wait to do X, Y, and Z. And for me, like now I not interested in that. Like I want to be fully fulfilled within myself,
Yes.
who I am, and somebody who's just willing to not only help me out because that's selfish, but also I can also help them on their journeys. I don't want to be codependent of anybody. I want to have a healthy relationship.
Yes.
And it's really, 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 really hard these days.
Oh yeah.
Especially in my community. I don't like to say that because don't get me wrong. Like if I was here with a fellow homosexual, like I can sit here and go back and forth and roast everybody and be like, oh.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why I can't do that is because if I'm talking with somebody from the community, they can have a different perspective than I do.
Yes.
And then we can go back and forth. And I feel that if I sit over here and I just give you all the negative, I'm almost setting a bad example for my people.
100%. But
so for me, and these type of things is where it's like, oh, how can I approach it? How can I be real about my experience, but I also not leave my people in a bad.
Shame the culture for what it's not for what it is. It's this is your experience. This isn't a reflection on the culture as an overall. This is what you're seeing through your eyes. And I think that's a different thing.
So for me, the main thing that I'm seeing that happens a lot in my community is a lot of toxic relationships.
What do you mean by that?
Extremely toxic relationships. So, which probably changing a lot. It's changing every day. I think as community, sometimes we have grown. Even though that sometimes I'm watching the news and stuff like that, and I'm like, wait, are we going backwards? What's happening? And I think what's happening is, imagine this is what, okay, let me see, how can I explain this so it makes sense to somebody who's an outsider? I feel there's a lot of things that happen in my community. If it's being promiscuous, if it's just being out
Define
there.
promiscuous. Are we saying cheating or just promiscuous?
No, promiscuous to me is just in a sense of just, I don't agree with, but I think society, if we're going to put it in societal, promiscuous is in a way that you're more free with your body. Let's put it that way.
So hookup culture.
Okay, let's go with that.
Okay.
And I think what happens is I hate when people put it like, oh, gay people are promiscuous. These people are that. It's like, at the end of the day, we're still men. There's no difference. I don't know how to explain to people that as gay men, there's no difference. The difference that is, it had nothing to do with our sexuality. It has to do with the way that the world not only react to us, but how do we bond with each other in our community? Where do we learn things from? Like, let's say like straight people, you get a lot of your things from movies, TV, romance, even maybe at home you see like from your mom and your dad, and then you're like, oh, okay, like I see how things girls can see, like I see how my dad treats my mom, like I want to find a man that does that for me. So a lot of your things, you watch romantic TV, so then in a sense a lot of your upgrowing is built in your surroundings, which as gay men a lot of the times we don't see that on TV. We don't see that reflection of us. So like I can tell for myself, like my first interaction that I saw between two men was in a sexual matter. It was on porn. It was that way. That's how we saw our reflection out there. So I think that's because sometimes we become more sexualized. Not just because of just like, oh, gay men are sexualized, but it's just how we see things. And then from there on, then maybe your second interaction is at the club. And so at the club is not the place.
And you go on the continuous path, and then all of a sudden, it's simply because the beginning origin of it.
Correct.
You
and
become more promiscuous.
You become more promiscuous, and because in the way that you see in your life and this way that you see in interactions. And I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot of people get mistake, like where do those things come from?
That's actually really fascinating of a point, and that would make a lot of sense.
Like, for example, a lot of people in my community, also, my opinion, they're saying at the beginning of their life, they end up in a really toxic relationship. A lot of my gay friends who are in their early 23, 24, 25 are in toxic relationships. All of them. And it's due to the fact that, once again, we come from what I just
You're coming
explained.
From porn being the first.
Yeah, correct. So your interactions become very sexualized. And then sometimes some people are rejected due to their sexuality for their families and their parents and their friends or whatever, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So what happens is then from there on, you don't know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You don't understand what healthy looks like. You don't understand how a normal, healthy relationship is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
You don't have no idea. But then what happens, you run into the first gay other person that you run into the street with who you just think, oh, you're cute, you're this and that.
And then
that becomes, and then that person becomes your life. That person becomes your family. Maybe if you come from not being accepted from your family.
Yeah.
So you make this person your everything.
And you'll tolerate everything and anything.
Tolerate everything.
And that's why it becomes so toxic.
And it becomes so toxic. And then a lot of the times, sometimes the person, and I always get the saying wrong. If it's like the punisher becomes a punishee, what is it when you're somebody inflicts pain, then it becomes like the person who then inflict pain into others.
I see what you're saying. I don't know exactly, but yeah, I see.
So then a lot of men, then they live this relationship the whole entire 20s.
Toxic.
They go into their 30s.
Toxic.
They go into their 30s and they finally understand what they want, what they see, whatever.
Yeah.
And they end that relationship. But now they're the ones who are a little bit damaged. So now they're looking for somebody who's willing to be in the role that they were in before. Which was more in the receiving and tolerating. Now they want to be the one to be in charge, in power. They want to be the ones to going forward.
That's in control.
That's in control, and then sometimes want to lead, but not in a negative way.
In a toxic way.
In a toxic way. So for me, like I felt like I would say in my 20s, it was a little bit of that, for sure. In my 20s, I was looking for somebody who was going to teach me something.
Yeah.
That I was going to grow a family with, that I was going to build something with, that I was going to do all of these things with.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the right knowledge of what was the things that I needed to tolerate. What are things that are normal? What are things that are not okay to tolerate?
Yeah.
What are the things that is good to do and not good to do? And then after I ended that relationship, now when I'm in my 30s,
your old age?
My old age.
Our old age?
Our old age. Very old. And I was not even early 30s. Well, you can tell on him, but we can talk about that another time. Not necessarily right now.
We're dinosaurs up here, is what we're saying.
Oh my God. I want every single time I want to have the dinosaur app and just like, you know, when people ask their age.
Oh my God.
They're like, you're 20 and then I'm 19 and they play the dinosaur thing.
Oh man.
Completely. But for me now, I go into relationships very different. And the funny thing is, sometimes, and then we can bring it back to you. So I keep babbling myself. The more you know, sometimes the more rejected you are.
100%. You're jaded because you know too much. And you will tolerate less, and most people won't even put up with it. And most people are like, oh, great, I want someone that's easy used, especially in this hookup culture.
You say easy use? I don't think easy use is the right word, but
easy. They want to be easy, and they want to use you.
Easy in a way of not, okay.
Easy, and they want to use you. I think we're in a world of where relationships now are not relationships anymore. And what people deem as a successful relationship, I don't know if I would necessarily agree, and I don't know if you would agree. And obviously, you can agree and disagree on that aspect. And where I think successful relationships
are successful. I think that will be kids.
What is a successful relationship? Two people coming together that are complete or the semi-complete, but they come together to make each other better and they grow. So they're not deterring you. They're not trying to drag you down. It's like two trees next to each other sprouting up. And for something in the soil is helping both of them grow to be stronger, to be better. And they create necessarily more, maybe a garden or a forest, not a garden. So it's there, they start there and then all of a sudden it spreads out and all they're leaders for what couples should be. Not saying non-monogamous, I'm saying more of a monogamous relationship, and then they're role models for other people.
One of the biggest things for me now is two things. Okay, what is the first one? Because I left my mind right now, but I'm bringing it back. But I think it's, like you said, two people that are complete. That is the main word. But also one, I don't know if this translates in your world a little bit, I don't know, but it is very relevant in my world, which is make sure that you don't bond with each other on your toxic traits. There is nothing worse when two people bond with each other but based in their negative traits.
Oh, the negativity you can't do. It has to be positive aspects. Only. Nothing toxic, nothing negative.
It's just like, I don't want to put nobody business out there. If you know who I'm talking about, I see you.
No names. No names.
So, for example, in my world, so I can relate it, there are some people that have daddy issues.
Oh.
So there are people that have daddy issues in a way. And there's not a sense... I don't know if I would say there's nothing wrong with it as long as you are aware and you know where it comes from and there's boundaries within your, let's call it preference.
Yes.
So some people that have daddy issues in my community are people that want what they will call, I don't refer to it that way, a men's man.
Okay.
They want somebody who tells them what to do. They want somebody who makes a decision. The stereotypical what a straight man is. He makes decisions, he takes initiative, he does X, Y, and Z. There's that. And then there are other people that have mommy issues.
Yep.
Which is other ones that then they want to be in charge of everything. They want to tell you what to do. They want to almost make up for their homosexuality and they try to be more of a man's man for everything. So they seek a more, I don't want to say feminine man, but a more...
Feminine man. Submissive.
Submissive is the word.
Submissive,
more submissive that's willing to go with them, and that allows them to fulfill their egos.
Yes.
That allows them to then feel like the man, because even though I'm gay, I'm still the man in this relationship. And then when those two people meet, it's bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad.
It's toxic.
It's toxic.
Super toxic.
Because then they don't understand what is not correct and what is just triggering their senses. So if somebody, for example, who is in the more daddy issues, and they have somebody who's telling them what to do, what to wear, what to act, what anybody in a healthy world would think like, what is happening over here? Somebody who has daddy issues think of like, oh, he cares about me. He loves me. That's why he's telling me what to do. That's why he's telling me what to wear. That's why he's doing X, Y, and Z.
But that's not the reality.
It is not the reality. It's a fantasy.
It's you're hiding your trauma.
It's your fantasy. And if you meet the other person and the other person is controlling you because they feel like they have to guide you. I'm the man here. Using that word. I'm the man here. tells you what to do. I'm the one I need to protect you. And then the other one is not perceiving that's what it is. It's a toxic environment. 100%. But to you, it's like, oh, he just cares about me. Or he just wants to protect me. He just wants to. And those in my community are the worst combination that you can have.
100%. It's toxic and it just destroys people. It doesn't even help them.
And the crazy thing that I tell my friends who are like this is like...
They're addicted.
Not even that. It's like, not even my straight friends want that. So you guys want to be straight people from the 1800s.
Even then they didn't want it. They were just forced.
It was like, not even straight people want this anymore. No. So why are we holding ourselves to this standard or whatever? Like for me, the way that I see it, doesn't matter how feminine you can perceive me, how high-pitched my voice can be or anything like that. At the end of the day, I'm aware of who I am and I want somebody to treat me equally. I want to be in the same ground. I'm not trying to be nobody's baby. I'm not trying to be nobody's B. I'm not trying to be none of that. I want somebody who's equal with me. And we're able to make decisions and and do everything upon life. Yeah, there's situations somebody takes more initiatives or anything 100%. Like that. But even with that being said, even if you take more initiative or whatever, I also will take initiative in another route. Yeah. And also be okay understanding that if I do like a man who takes initiative, does not mean that you're going to tell me what to do all the time.
Well, I think
it's a boundary.
But I think there's also boundaries and a time and place for everything, right? In a relationship at certain periods of time, and let's remove the sexual aspect, because I think that's a whole different topic we can go down of fantasies, role plays, all of that, whether you're submissive, whether you're dominant.
All of that can be in the bedroom.
All that can be in the bedroom.
Keep it there.
But when you're
not in my living room.
When you're out of the bedroom, I think this is a huge thing that happens, and it's very difficult and it's very decisive, especially within straight culture, and it sounds like in the gay culture as well, where a lot of the times it gets blended. And yeah, sure, it's going to get blended a little bit here and there because that's life. Things are not necessarily black and white. But to what degree does it get blended? Is it 5%? Is it 10%? Or is it 50 to 100%? Or maybe not 100, but 50 to 90%? Because 5% and 10% I think is normal. And you know what? That's where boundaries come in place. You check someone, they go back. And like, that's normal.
Yeah.
But when you do 50%, or if that's what your expectations are, then I think that's the toxic level of it.
Okay. So I feel like I already expressed a lot of my world. So bring me into your world, because like my people are trying to follow your people. But for me, it's like, what do you look for? Did you want a woman who is in charge, who makes decisions? Do you like a woman to be more submissive? That's the thing, because we can
get into that. Yeah. I think it's, for me personally, more submissive.
Okay.
I don't want someone who's a boss and in charge. It just doesn't.
Why?
It doesn't fit with my personality. And I think there's a lot of men that are in the same category of like, why would I want someone who's very demanding, very bossy, telling me what to do 24/7?
But it doesn't have to be negative in that way, because obviously the words that you're using have negative connotations with them.
100%.
But how about a woman who takes initiative, a woman who's in charge of her home, the woman who's willing to make plans and do those things? I think that will be the best way to put it as.
I think that's different. Then that's not necessarily in charge. I think, here's the thing. Each person in a relationship has different roles and different things. Whether we're going to say, well, it's called like a traditional man and woman. One person.
Say traditional.
Traditional. So let's just say a 1900s. Like the woman took care of the house and the kids, and the man was responsible for the finances. Each person is in control of their own domain. She's like, this is my house. I'm going to keep it clean. I'm going to cook. I'm going to do this. These kids are my responsibility for the most part right during the day while he's working, providing. And his is, let me make as much money as possible. Let me support my family and protect them how I can and make sure that they're safe and that they have no issues. And then whenever a credit card needs to be paid off, that's my thing. She may pay it for you, but she never worries about money not being there. That's your domain. And I think it's nice to then blend it a little bit where he'll help over here, she helps over here, but I think you have the distinguished roles a little bit already set out. Now you can flip them, stay-at-home dad, working mom, or I'm presuming it could be the same thing in your world.
Yeah.
But when you start blending everything together, people start losing their purpose and people start losing their identity.
You see, that's interesting, because now you're kind of contradicting what I'm saying, which is like, I believe in this blendedness and this like not set roles, but I get it. In your world there, you still go by society a lot and what have been preset for you and what you have seen in your home too as well.
I think, again, I'm going to go back to biology here. I'm not going to say necessarily as much.
You said biologist, you guys.
I am going to say, I did say that. I think you're looking at the human anatomy. And sure, as we grow and as everything comes through, and actually, this is a really good example.
Okay, tell me the example.
Right now, there's a lot of single people, right?
Yeah. Why?
Because what women desire and what men desire are not necessarily the same thing.
Is that what you think?
100%. But here's the also thing.
Okay.
There's a lot that's masculine men right now.
Okay.
There is.
Okay.
20 years ago, there was more.
Okay.
Now there's less.
Okay.
And then you also have the expectations on the woman's side of, I want someone who's 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3",
Correct.
has a lot of money, all this stuff, makes what? $200,000 a year. The issue is that amount of people that actually exist on the men's side is like 1 or 2%.
Correct.
Maybe 5. Let's call it 5. And I think that's over exaggeration by quite a bit.
Okay.
Now, if you have women that aren't willing to compromise and that want these superficial things, and you have men that aren't necessarily masculine that can't put a woman in her place. And when I say that, and again, the roles are reversed. If you need someone that's more dominant in the relationship, it could be the man, it could be the woman, and you can switch this however you want.
Okay.
You need someone that's in a masculine man or a masculine woman to say, look, this is not how we do it. This is how we're going to lead. This is how we're going to go. And I'll take the reins now. You can follow. And then it can always switch back and forth. Are you following?
Kind of. I am. I just have points that I'm trying to keep in my head, but I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening.
So you have one person that's dominant. You have one person that's more submissive, leading the way. They each have their own domains, and they come together to make each other better. Nowadays, you don't have people coming together to compromise. You have people coming together with their own circles, and if they butt, then it's like, oh, great, we're together for 6 months. We're together to the year, and then we separate. But I still didn't necessarily
So
grow
where do
enough.
you think the lack of compromising come from?
I think it comes from the internet. I think it comes from the social media. And I also think it comes from everyone's standards are now so inflated. It's the best example is Instagram or TikTok. You see a picture on Instagram of someone doing so successful. That person could be broke, sleeping in the car, but they just got one good picture.
Correct.
And you don't know the behind the story. But the issue is no one wants to know behind the story. They don't want to see someone grow. They don't want to see someone elevate. They don't want to go through those struggles. They simply want that nice shiny diamond ring or the Lamborghini. Lamborghini. It's a new car.
That's the one that I have.
We're trademarking that phrase.
I have a Lamborghini.
Lamborghini. And no one's compromising. And no one's willing to suffer.
But who do you think lacks more of a compromise?
Right now, I think it's on the woman's side.
Okay. I disagree with you on that.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Why?
Because I think women have always been put in the back burner of like women are the ones who are always been put to compromise with a man, to
100%.
compromise with their jobs, to compromise in so many things. A woman is willing to put up with a man. Let's say if you guys are fat, ugly, or whatever, and they're willing to be like, but you know what? He will be a great father.
100%.
And they'll be there.
Yes.
And I think what is happening, I feel women now are asking for more.
100%.
And I think men are not willing to move a single inch.
I think that has some correctness to it, but not fully. And I do believe that men aren't necessarily willing to budge as much. But I think the expectations of what's being asked is starting to become unrealistic.
But the
And it's on both sides.
Yeah, but I think the expectations come from, I think, what some men need to understand. I think men have been in the top of the pole for a long time.
They have.
That I think you guys need to be humble. And what's happened is a man can ask for a lot.
Yes.
That's fine. That's fine.
And a woman.
But you have to come in with a lot too as well.
100%.
And there's some people,
Yes.
some men out there that they don't have nothing, not even a bucket to piss on. But they're sitting over here thinking that they can ask for a 10 of a woman. Which woman, not all of them, we are, once again, stereotype, whatever.
Stereotyping.
Yeah.
Majority.
But there are some women who are a 10,
100%.
who ask for a 10.
100%.
And I feel that a lot of women who are fourth, who understand that they are fourth, and they are willing to look for men who's a four.
That's the issue.
That's how I see it.
That's the issue.
I think men, doesn't matter you guys, what you guys, I got to put it straight, man. If you put it, you guys could be a 4, a 3, a 4, it's whatever, and you guys still want a 10.
Here's something that I'll say out loud. They did an experiment with an extremely hot guy that was a 10 in most people's minds. Obviously, people are going to say no. And they did an experiment with a woman that I think was a 3 on a couple dating apps. Hold up. Let me continue.
Let me keep that in mind.
It was, I think, 3 or 4 different dating apps. And it was uncomparable, the amount of matches the woman got compared to the man. Uncomparable. It was like 5 or 6 to 1. A 2 or a 3 on a woman's scale, and a 10 on a men's. And by the way, the men was rated by women, and the woman was rated by men. Right? Just to get the opposite perspective. Not even close. It's like 5 to 1, 6 to 1. And when you look at life and when you look at all of these things, women have more partners than men. Minus the top 10% of men or 15% of men, because all the girls want the top level, the people with status, money, height, looks, all of it, right? Celebrities. Women have more partners than most men. Most men, I forget what it is nowadays. As of like 3 or 4 years ago, like an average guy will have one partner a year.
I don't know what kind of things.
And it's not because they don't want to, right? Women can reject. They just only get to that point. And I think there was another statistic of like dating apps for most average guys. We're going to say average. It takes them, I think, 200 or 300 matches to get, I think, 5 to 10 coffee dates.
So like you were saying, I have also a test. What do you call it? An experiment. There you go. That was put out there. And it shows that if a woman is with a less attractive man,
yes,
right? That raises his standards, and not his standard. It raises the way that he's perceived by society.
Yes.
Because it shows that's like, oh, if he's with a hot girl, that means that even he has money, maybe he's great in the bedroom, maybe he has something in his pants, like it elevates him.
Yes.
But if a woman is with a less attractive guy,
yes, then
it doesn't add anything to her.
It doesn't from a physical standpoint, though.
But it's
and
just
a perception of the world.
But it's how it's oh no, sorry. I think I repeated that twice. So when a woman is a much attractive woman is with an uglier guy, the guy is still being elevated.
Yes.
He's being put like this has to be something about him that is making her want him.
Yes.
Now if you take an ugly girl and you put a hot guy together.
Yeah.
What that does, it puts him down because it's like, is he doing a favor to her?
It elevates her too.
No, it doesn't.
It does because then she becomes delusional and won't go for less attractive guys.
No, okay. This was my part. This is my example that I was trying to make. Then it's not, it perceived like, oh, why is he with her? He can do so much better than him.
100%.
He could be with somebody else better. Maybe they grew up together. It becomes a lot of excuses why he's with her.
Yeah.
But when it's the opposite, you are elevating the guy. He must have something that makes her want him. See, it's not the same thing as tomato and tomatoes.
I disagree.
Okay.
When a less attractive girl is with the more attractive guy, it raises her standards. So if this relation doesn't work, her standards are now elevated higher. So she won't necessarily date down as much. Okay. And the other thing is, guys will just hook up with women, right? They can emotionally turn it off and just hook up. Women. So a more attractive guy for one night stand or a situationship will go down. And it's just like, it's sex. I enjoy it. Whatever.
Go down where?
A lot of ways.
Oh, okay. Go down where?
Just not you. No. Hey, there's payback coming soon.
Right.
What happens is those women now elevate their standards. So even if a guy's perfect that's not as attractive or maybe doesn't have all the qualities, she doesn't entertain. And you see a lot of these guys that maybe are a little too nice and they don't have confidence. That would make great husbands that are left single because people want something a little bit more because they're experienced it, they've hooked up with it.
I disagree with you. I feel like girls are much more lenient. They're willing to see through the surface and see if somebody is a good father and everything like that, not just the looks. But anyway, let's put it out to them.
We'll put it up to you. What is your opinion?
You guys tell us. What is the question? What's the question that we're going to ask them so they can put it in the bottom?
Okay, the question is,
who's willing?
Who's willing
to compromise more? I think
it's women are willing to compromise more.
Okay, so what?
But the question is, if it's a more attractive guy and a less attractive woman, or a more attractive woman and a less attractive guy, if those people
perceived better by society, I think that would be the question. Thank you.
We can do perceived by a society.
Yeah, there you go. I think that will be it. We can leave it there.
Done.
Now, do you want to tell them once again where to find us?
Yes. Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Apple Music. We'll be on there. Share, comment, subscribe. Send this to everyone.
Yes,
we
please.
are here for you. We need your help expanding this out on every single level. If you are not subscribed, we have so many. We have 6,000 viewers on YouTube alone. We only have over 40 people subscribed.
Subscribe, please, please. Comment and tell us what do you think about this. And with that being said, we're out.
Peace.
Peace.